Hey, favored ones! Welcome to another pick a pile reading, and on today's subject, in honor of it being the full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio and being the 555 portal, I just wanted to go over the energies of, the eclipse and, the full moon and really get into what we're making room for in the next little bit, all these changes, what it's bringing in. And the theme of the title is called Making Much Room for More. And there will be that one. And this will be pile number 2. And this will be pile number 3. So in case this is your first time ever coming onto my channel, I'm Kymmy. Hello and welcome. And for anyone who's returning, thank you for coming through and showing your support. I really appreciate it. Before I got on to the reading, I had a clairaudient message come through the song Semi-Charmed Life by Third Eye Blind, and I really feel like the collective energy of this reading is people who are going to be going through a transition of like going from having your third eye, being third eye blind, self-sabotaging, lower energies, allowing yourself to be in a place where you really weren't treated properly and not shown your worth, whether that was due to, a place inside of yourself even. I feel like a lot of people are moving away and into their sobriety from using coping mechanisms that aren't as healthy and not sustainable in the long run for health. So along with that, and because of that, you're feeling semi-charmed about your life because you're certainly not in the worst place you've ever been, but you're certainly not at the place where you've envisioned for yourself yet, and that you're really holding on to that vision. And with all these energies from the 555 portal and the eclipse, and of course the Mercury and Pluto's retrograde, bringing up all of these feelings to sort through which is serving you and which one is just like holding you back in the past, and like whether it's a grudge or it's just some guilt and shame that you could be holding on to. It could be a semi-charmed kind of life, also because you're moving on, and as you know, it's an unpopular opinion, but moving on and grief, even if it's even if it's positive change, it can be a really grieving process with that. Like it takes a lot of time to process that grief too, since you're losing friends and loved ones that you got to see every day if you're changing jobs or moving to a new state or new country, or just traveling, or if as well, I feel some of you are not going to be able to go to yearly annual traditions that you might have in the past because you're moving on from groups that you hung out with, or you're investing more time in yourself, and at this time you've had to pull back away from social events. And that's just, the bittersweet, semi-charmed part of growth. It's like with mushrooms grow in the dark, they also grow in the light. So you're learning how to balance accepting yourself for your light and dark attributes. So you may have went through a Kundalini awakening or dark night of the soul with shadow work. If you don't know what that is, you can certainly look it up and see if that pertains to you. As some of you could have had your Saturn, or are going through your Saturn return, as it just had returned into Pisces a couple of months ago, but also because in the music video of Semi-Charmed Life, inside of on the rear view mirror, they're hanging on it is the planet Saturn. So I feel like that's confirmation. Or you have Saturn, Capricorn placements. That could be extra confirmation for you as well. Or you're dealing with people who are Capricorns. But yeah, we'll move on into the piles. I'll have it listed below. At this time, I am not currently taking personal readings through online. And if anyone tries to solicit you in the comments or inside of your DMs, do not give them your hard-earned money, as they don't deserve it and it's a scam. So let them go bark up some other tree and get lost. So yeah, see you in your reading. Bye. Pile number 1. If this is the little cute mushroom house that you have chosen, let's see what you're making much room for in your life. Can I get the messages for pile number 1? What is all this cosmic energies of planets shifting and full moon rising are they to be expecting here? And it's timeless reading, so if any of you are seeing this at another time and later date, then this is still on time and on par for you, if it resonates. Oop, I'll take that one. Thank you. Won't listen when you say. So yeah, definitely in the part of the semi-charmed life, I feel like you're not ready to say goodbye. Like some of you may deal with trigger warning, depression, or you know, avoidant attachment style, where you feel like you want to run away to a far off place, or you just try to not be as vulnerable and run away from serious commitments. And you're learning how to do that. Maybe at one point you were trying to say goodbye to yourselves. Yeah, so you're not ready to say goodbye. The universe is not listening when you say you really want to leave, because deep down your inner child doesn't want to run away. Your inner child wants to be held and hold. And what you're making room for right now is you're making room for your inner child to come out. You're really making room by getting rid of the riffraff. You know, you're getting rid of that, the way that society may have wired you when growing up, and the way you're surrounded. And, you know, as it does, as we all have to go through and learn, the 8 of Cups, you are that semi-charmed life. So you're very abundant at this time. And you may have felt like, well, if I, you know, like with Britney Spears, if I'm so lucky and I'm a star, why do I feel so like empty? You may have felt lonely, whether it was from, you know, self-sabotaging by pushing people away or not allowing people to get close. And you're really getting rid of that mindset. That's what you're making room for, is you're making room for that vulnerability. You're making room to come out of that snowstorm and being, you know, snow blinded by giving people the cold shoulder, or, you know, even giving yourself the cold shoulder when you wanted to. You know, you should, in times when you could have gave yourself compassion, you may have given yourself the cold shoulder and like the tough up, you know, pep talk, instead of like, what you're going through right now is incredibly hard, and if anyone else was going through your situation, they would, you know, have a tough time too. And it's okay to have you know, a tough time, but not to give up. And I feel like you did. You realized, you know, no, I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna let the pressure and the gears and the mechanism of the system that wants to tear me down is not going to do it. I'm going to walk into the sunshine and realize that I'm unique as every single different snowflake. No, none of us are the same, and they want us to be cookie cutter people. And I'm not. I'm not a cookie cutter person, and you are realizing that. And you're realizing, you know, trying to fit into a mold is no way to create structure for your journey. And you don't like having structure. You're not a human doing, you're a human being. And you're learning that you can just be. That's what you're making room for. You're making room for just being and existing and relaxing and telling everyone, hey, I am not some sort of mold that you could just pour me in and let me set. I don't set other people up. I build myself up like amorphous clay. And I walk into the sunshine and I set goals for myself. I set goals for me. No one else does. And you're learning that. You're learning no one else sets goals for you but you. And you can reach them whenever you like, and you can back out of them anytime you like. Nobody can tell you failed, because you realize that failure isn't quitting. Doing something you don't enjoy is. Because that's quitting on yourself and standing up for yourself. So I'm going to pull 1221. Angel number for you are not alone. Your guides want you, the mushrooms want you to know that you are not alone. There will be people who want to stand in your circle and dance, much like the dance of the fairy mushrooms. So you may work with spiritual entities, or you may just enjoy lore of mythology, and that is bringing you more room for knowledge is by sharing your love for different cool things, like letting your weird flag fly, so that other people who have the same niches can find you, and you guys can info dump forever to each other and have amazing time. So like, I feel like you're making room for friends, and that's something that you've wanted for a long time, and like genuine ones that are gonna stick around, ones that aren't toxic, but remove toxic situations with yourself, much as mushrooms do. They remove toxic, you know, from environments. So that's cool too. Let's kind of card dump. Yeah, you're really manifesting a home here on Earth. You might have felt like you don't belong here, from another planet. Some of your hearts may belong to the ocean. With the 4 discs here, you could have been holding on to a lack mindset, but now you're feeling free and diving into the depths of all types of abundance of community, abundance of knowledge, abundance of wonder, abundance of kindness, abundance of all kinds, abundance of intimacy, abundance of food, and it's just coming more and more with time, and you're believing in that and letting it the abundance wash over you. Like that turtle's just like there chilling, letting it wash over them and looking at going off into the sunset, knowing it's protected. And I feel like that could be a reason you feel had a lack mindset of protection. And now you know that you are, and believe in it. Much like with sea turtles, when they're fully developed, maybe you didn't feel fully developed at protecting yourself in the past. Maybe that's because you were a child, like a legit child. You shouldn't be worried about whether or not you can protect yourself. That wasn't your job, and you did it to the best of your abilities despite everything. And that is something that you should be proud of instead of shameful. And with time, you will feel that. Yeah. So, but like when a turtle's fully developed, whether you felt you weren't developed enough to protect yourself in the past, you're learning to now. Whether that's spiritually, with your emotionally, with boundaries, because you've learned how to do boundaries and you might have not in the past. But you're fully developing that confidence in yourself. And like with the turtle, when they're fully developed, even a white shark can't bite through their shell. It takes a lot of force to get through. So like you're standing up to armies and you're ready. You're like, I'm coming out. I want the world to know. I'm coming on. So yeah, like I really feel like this file might be a clairaudient. You get a lot of messages from your guides and familiars through songs, or you like with light language, or they give you a message and like a song, but like you don't know the words to it. Like it's just, I guess that's light language too, but you paint it out, I feel, or you make music out of it. But yeah, you're making room to feel like this. You're at the stage right here, right now, and you were at this stage. You're like, I'm never gonna fit in. I don't belong here. This, everyone else seems like they're doing so much better than me. And like, no one's really doing that much better than me. It's just, I'm not watering myself. And you're like, I'm gonna do that. And now you're overabundant with watering yourself. You're literally submerged. So I'm so proud of you, pile number 1. And thank you so much for letting me read your energy. I look forward to feeling all of your wonderful energies in the next readings that you may come across my page. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment if you feel comfortable. And remember to eat, hydrate, and have fun. Bye. Pile number 2. If you chose this mushroom, then this pile is for you. So we will see. I'm getting images of Fast and the Furious. So like family, and like you may not had your own family, so you created your own family. Family's very important to you. I've said it so many times in this short period of time. Family is really important for you, so maybe you're making room for more family, whether that is through having a baby, adoption, getting married, or just like pets. I was like, I'm missing one, but it's super important. But yeah, no, you could do it with you may have had a pause in between. You might have had a loss, or something happened with your animal recently that made you have to take a pause out of your life in order to help them. If anyone's animal is hurt, then my wishes go out to them. But yeah, no, if there's more room for the family, um, and plants as well. You could be making more room because family is moving closer to you. So not that your family's like getting bigger, just that you could have family moving or staying with you for a while. And but yeah, let's see what else you could be making much room for. And if the course of this isn't like family, it could be that you have a channel or a group environment that you feel is like family, and there's been new additions to this to your group, to your homies. Um, and like, of course, if you're an artist, if you feel like you're like, or of any kind really, and you feel like your work of art is your baby, then I feel like some albums or a new song or a new painting, um, like a sweater being knitted has just dropped. So there's that. I feel like some of you may live by the mountains. Yeah, she'll be coming around the mountains. So someone's coming to visit you in the mountains, or you could be going to visit friends in the mountains, like for camping. It could be a festival coming up. For those who go to festivals. Okay, it could be a family reunion as well. That could be definitely a thing. It's like hearing Wu-Tang is so good to see all the familiar faces. Oh, yeah, it could be. Yeah, some of you may have had a passing as well, or someone may you may be visiting due to someone not doing well. If that's the case, then my condolences, and may they recover, have a speedy recovery. For those who don't resonate with that, as is going to be a little bit different, as is the general reading, it may not all resonate. We have 8 of Discs, so your skillful perseverance is catching whirlwind, like it's really picking up speed, and a lot of networking happening. So there's a lot of networking. There could have been a fire with the death and rebirth, grief and letting go. Someone could have been had a fire recently as well. You have safety and rebuild. I know what that's like personally, as I went through it not too long ago in November. Yeah, so knowing grieving and letting go, and it's really hard, and I understand that. Just trust the walk that you're gonna get through to the other side. I definitely had my moments during the time, but I knew that deep down I would be, taken care of, because I know that I have the skills and perseverance to get through anything, and I feel like that's what you're making room for. You're making room for rebuilding, whether that's yourself. You could be letting go of a part of yourself that you've shedded. You could Yeah, I'm getting a lot of energy as you just don't know what to do. Yeah. Yeah, my throat's really bugging. Feels congested. Well, you could be feeling congested, or dealing with people who are sick at this time. And that's a lot of heavy energy to go through, and you maybe, and it's an eclipse and a bittersweetness because you're happy to help and know that you're okay, but at the same time, it's a lot of heavy energy to navigate. It feels like a maze, like you're going through, you know, with the movie Labyrinth, you're like, I'm trying not to take things for granted, and then you're like, you feel like it's not fair every time you turn around, the lipstick's facing the other way, and that's not even where you came from. I also feel like, just like in the movie Labyrinth, and a lot of you may be down on yourself because you didn't listen to advice. In some cases, that's not for all of you, but some cases, some of you may have not listened to advice that you got at the beginning before this, all blew up in your face. Like, example, a friend warned you about the partner you were with, and it turns out it wasn't a really good partner after a while. Or, not staying in a certain place because they don't have really good rental reviews, or don't get that desk because it's not from a very good place, and there happens to be like they just want to scam you. There's, and you may have got warned beforehand, like the little caterpillar that was like, hello, come visit the missus, and you should go that way. But Sarah didn't. But you're grateful regardless, because at the end, you're getting friends, and you know who your true friends are, and you've matured from this event. It is a life of changing event, and you've gained wisdom, and sometimes wisdom is gained through not the nicest of journeys. And I think you're making much room more for having appreciation and also a more sturdy ground to build on this time. You're not going to feel like you're stagnant and caught. You won't feel like you have to leave your body, because it may have been outside of your body with like coping mechanisms, escapisms, unhealthy coping mechanisms. You're allowed to have those. Some are just unhealthy and some are healthier. Well, some are healthy because you need them, and some are healthier than others. I don't want to say that they're unhealthy, because if you need those coping mechanisms and escapisms to help you be you, then I'm not going to shame that. But at the same time, you're making room for knowing that you deserve better, and you're rebuilding in a place where it's going to flourish, because if you keep planting in the same dirt that is super dry, it's got no nutrients in it, it's on a hill, so you keep getting runoff, but you keep trying to build yourself on that hill, eventually you're gonna have to move on. And that's what you're doing, is you're grieving and letting go, and knowing that you have the skills and perseverance and you're trusting the walk and moving on. And finding yourself a nice place that could be you're moving into and getting a new home. Just your guides and your higher self want you to know that even though you're deep down in the trenches, they're viewing it from above, and they're helping you, guide you through it. So if you're at any moment you feel like, hey, ancestors, loved ones, higher self, placebo effect, whatever you believe in, your gut feeling, your back tinglies, whatever you believe in, and you're like in that moment, you're like, take a deep breath, and you're like, show me the way. And even if you gotta make a Venn diagram, don't give up, because That's what you're making room for. You're making room for stability, something worth building on. You know, you let go of all those in your past and may have been not so good for you. And, you know, we as humans can tend to get in that cycle because we don't believe that we deserve better. And I'm living proof that, yeah, we do deserve better, because I thought I didn't deserve jack all. And I learned that wasn't true, and I got to move on, and I didn't have to worry and live in fear every day. And with the person who I thought loved me. So yeah, cutting away the illusion and getting authentic connection. I feel like pushing away from here, you're going to get authentic friendships and intimacies, and cutting away the illusion that you're not worth this next stage of your life, which you are. You're making much room for what you deserve. That's what you're making room for. You're making room for your self-worth and things that you deserve. Because like at the end of the movie, at the end of the movie of Labyrinth, she got all those friends after she went through the labyrinth, and even though they were scared, they stuck it out together, and they won. And at the end, just like your guides, when they had to go and maybe not be seen all the time, they're like, if you should ever need us, yeah, if you should ever need us, we'll be there. And that's how your guides and even your friends, your support system, if you don't believe in the other side, whatever, you probably do if you're here. Regardless, for the skepticals, you know, you're getting a lot of support system. You're getting that community that you've always wanted, that will treat you properly because you're finally making room for what you deserve. And sometimes we have the rug pulled out from underneath us during that time. But during that time, we can find out who our real friends are and what we're really capable of. And I think you got the gusto. I think you got the guts. Dang it, why do I keep saying guts? Maybe you feel like you're not courageous enough, but I think you are courageous. Gusto. Yes, you got the gusto. Okay, finally, I got it out. Thank you, Mercury retrograde. Thank you, pile number 2, for coming through. It was a lot of heavy energy, and I can appreciate you coming through, but there's the ambulance sounds going off, and it's letting you know, 333 on the clock, it is time to go if it involves your safety, and they want to let you know that they're on your side and help is on the way. Alright, I will see you in the next video. If you can like, comment, or subscribe, I would appreciate you helping my channel as I enjoy helping others. And remember to eat, hydrate, and have fun. Bye! Pile number 3, if you pick this mushroom, that's more like a flower, but that's okay. Yeah. Let's see what you're making mushroom for in your life. I feel like pile number 3, that you are making room for silence. You're really slowing down and taking in everything. You might be taking more pictures of like nature outside. taking time to meditate, doing yoga poses, like your energy. You're learning to sit in the energy of calm, removing yourself from drama, and really in the energy of responding instead of reacting. You know, like that unbothered, in my own lane, flourishing kind of energy. I feel like that's what you're making much, much, much room for right now. I can feel it tingling in the back of my neck, like a lot of you might enjoy watching ASMR or taking time out to go to certain areas and just sit with nature, and not like in a meditation, but in an observing kind of way, which is kind of a like an action meditation. But like, yeah, definitely like going fishing kind of like energy, but not caring if you catch anything, and bringing your book to the beach, and just really, yeah, I feel like poetry, like bard energy, where you're like just sitting off on the side, just strumming a guitar and just taking in the clouds, and just mastering your mind, really reading about all the worlds. I feel like a lot of you are studying about cultures, mythology, philosophy. A lot of you may be learning about hieroglyphs as well. Really interested in Atlantis and metaphysics. So a lot of deep thinkers for our pile number 3s. You go against like normal standards, like how the rest of them were actual mushroom houses, and this one was like, I want to flower. A lot of you may be in touch with your divine feminine, which is why you're more in the spiritual realm. That doesn't mean that you are feminine. It's just every single individual has a masculine and a feminine, divine feminine parts to themselves that brings balance, the yin and yang. And I feel like that's an indication that you're really in touch with your receiving energy right now. You're allowing others to help you, and before you may have been a little shy or, proud to, or prideful to accept help and wanted to do it as yourself, which was probably in some cases is a form of trauma response, is hyper independence. And you're learning that you don't need to. You can just like chill. That's what you're making room for. I'm gonna pull on a couple of cards here. Just like your energy is so like zen. I feel like that word really tingled for someone. Yeah, you feel really zen. So you could be going to like a marketplace for a zen garden, building yourself a garden. Building an authentic connection with yourself. 2 of Cups. I feel like you're creating a partnership, a collaboration. For those who aren't collaborating, you are working with your higher self really closely right now with your purpose and creativity, which explains the being in your divine feminine part, that the divine feminine, it works more in the spiritual realm, whereas the masculine works more in the physical realm, and together you are you're uplifting, but also you're down to earth. So that way it sandwiches together all nicely in a balance. So we have the multi-dimensional universe. A lot of you maybe work with the Stone Age area or have UK background. Some of you may be mothers because or grandparents or some sort of like you babysit or take care of kids a lot, because as soon as I picked those cards up, I started instinctively doing the baby rock. Yeah, some of you may be mothering yourself right now. That's what I feel. If you aren't expecting or are our mother, then I feel like for you, for those who are watching that don't resonate with that, then I feel you're more learning how to parent yourself, like mother yourself, show yourself compassion and grace. And that's what you're making room for. And you're making room for finding peace in the darkness and learning how to mother and parent yourself. You're learning how to mother and father yourself, like knowing to remember to have discipline and taking action towards your goals, but also having compassion and grace towards yourself as you learn and develop towards achieving those goals. With this one here, multi-dimensional. There's also the zodiac. Some of you may work with zodiac signing, Reiki, prana, as well as massage therapy. Some of you may do birth charts. There's also the caduceus, which is, I think it is anyways, the symbol in there, which is the symbol for health. So you're really working on your mental health and listening to your body as it tells you what it needs. If she's like, hey, I've been lacking water lately, and you're like, oh, okay, sure, no problem. Or I don't like eating early in the morning, it always makes me feel sick, but they always say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. But you're like, you want to know what? I'm just gonna eat something light and even see if that helps it. And then you're like, I'll just snack a little in the morning and have a breakfast a bit later, or like just drink a bunch of water. You're learning what works for you and you're adjusting as needed instead of just going off of what everyone has considered, a cookie cutter shape, or what is appropriate to eat, drink, how much your body needs. You can't just look at you and decide, hey, you need the same diet as they do, and it's not the same. It's absolutely not. And same for working out. Like, you're like, if I can only handle 5 minutes a day and work your way up, you need assisted push-ups. It doesn't make you any less. That's why there's kinesiologists in the first place, is so that people who have limitations, or sorry, requirements aren't limited, is what I wanted to say. Not limitations. No limitations. Nobody's limited. Only that we have different requirements. And, until we can reach higher goals. So yeah, I'm proud of you for listening to your body, pile number 3, and I'm really proud of you for allowing this energy to come through for a time of peace. Not only will it be helpful for yourself in the long run, but I really feel like just people being in your vicinity without you having to do much will also be affected by this, and that really in turn higher the vibration everywhere. So you're really doing great work in hiring the vibration of yourself and others, and you bring a smile and a sense of calmness to others with just your presence, and that's super great. And this it's amazing. You should be proud of your progress, and if you aren't yet, then I am. me, I am. So yeah, don't be so hard on yourself, which I feel you're not, but at sometimes it might sneak up on you, I feel, when other people compliment you, when you're really been really good at validating yourself, giving yourself love, you just feel a little off when other people are complimenting you. Not so much that you don't believe them or you don't accept it, it still just feels a little bit new to you, and I feel like you're making room for more receiving. Yeah, as I said before, you're making more room for receiving. So receiving compliments, you're going to be feeling a little bit more comfortable with that. Receiving help, you're going to feel a little bit more comfortable with that. Receiving accolades and achievements and congratulations and all those other wonderful victories for yourself, because you keep working hard and have given a consistent energy to yourself to grow as well as rest, which is the most important part, because the majority of growth, as we watch from nature, is patience. It's one of my hardest lessons, and it's really nice to see others achieving that and working on it too, and know it's possible. So thank you for inspiring me, pile number 3s. I didn't mean to rhyme that, so some of you may be poets, as I said before, and definitely or rappers on the rhyme. Got that first? Okay, if you can like, subscribe, or comment if you feel comfortable, that would be appreciated, as I enjoy helping those around and it'll help boost my channel. Alright, I will see you all in the next reading. Remember to eat, hydrate, and have fun. Bye!